Look at these two rooms. They are similar in size, daylight, furniture type, and apparent budget. Yet room B feels calmer, more resolved, and somehow more expensive. Before we explain why, notice how quickly your eye has already chosen. That choice did not begin with a price tag. You read the room as a whole, where attention goes, how the furniture relates, how much space each object receives, and whether the materials belong together. So, what are you actually judging? Not the individual products. You are judging the decisions connecting them.
We often assume the answer is a better sofa, a designer lamp, a marble table, or more decoration. Those things can be beautiful, but they do not automatically create a convincing room. Without structure, expensive objects can still feel strangely ordinary. A room is not experienced like a shopping list. It arrives all at once. The strongest interiors feel as though every element has accepted a role, and nothing is fighting simply to prove its value. If you like understanding why spaces work, instead of simply being told what to buy, that is exactly what we explore at Valhorst Studio.
Start with hierarchy. In this version, several details ask for equal attention. None is terrible, but there is no clear first read. Your eye keeps moving because it has not been given a place to settle. Now keep the room, camera, furniture, and budget the same. Give one element priority and let everything else support it. The room immediately feels more deliberate because someone has decided what matters most. That is the first quiet signal of luxury: confidence. One focal point leads, secondary elements create rhythm, and the rest is allowed to stay calm. Next, keep room B unchanged and shrink only the rug. The smaller rug floats beneath the table and leaves the seats visually disconnected. Restore the correct rug, and the same furniture suddenly reads as one composition. The same principle applies to the sofa. When it is too small for the wall and seating zone, the room feels under-anchored. A correctly scaled sofa gives the architecture weight without adding ornament or visible expense. Now change only the coffee table. The small table feels isolated, almost apologetic. The correctly proportioned table occupies enough visual space to connect the sofa and chair, turning separate pieces into one conversation area. Scale is not about making everything large. It is about relationships. Rug, sofa, and table need to agree with the room and with one another. When those proportions align, the space feels composed before any styling is added.
But proportion explains only part of the difference. One of the most overlooked luxury signals is the part of a room where there is nothing at all. Here, the major furniture has not changed. Only the removable decoration has multiplied. More cushions, more books, more ceramics, more small moments asking for attention. The room is still attractive, but its visual energy becomes busier. Remove the excess, and the architecture begins to breathe. The sofa becomes clearer, the artwork gains importance, and every remaining object receives enough space to feel deliberate. Negative space is not emptiness, it is emphasis. Luxury boutiques use the same psychology. A single object receives room, light, and importance. Its value is communicated partly by the object itself and partly by the confidence of the space around it. Now move to a different room and change nothing except the light. The architecture, furniture, materials, and camera remain fixed, giving us a clean comparison. Under harsh overhead light, every surface receives similar importance. Texture flattens, corners lose depth, and the room feels functional rather than considered. Nothing became cheaper. The visual information simply became less selective. Introduce layers instead. softer ambient light, localized lamps, and controlled pools of light where attention should rest. The same furniture now has depth, the room develops a foreground and background, and the materials begin to feel richer. Good lighting does more than brighten a room. It reveals texture, separates surfaces, and directs attention.
Materials create another common trap. This room contains individually plausible finishes, but their undertones, sheen, and visual character disagree. Cool upholstery, warm red timber, glossy stone, and chrome all pull in different directions. Now, keep the layout and apparent budget the same, but make those relationships coherent. Repeated dark accents connect the room, the undertones are controlled, and matte textures allow stone, wood, wool, and upholstery to support the same idea. Coherence does not mean making everything match. It means repetition with variation. A tone returns, a texture changes, a dark line appears again somewhere else. That rhythm makes the room feel designed, rather than collected by accident. Put the evidence together, and the pattern becomes clear. Expensive-feeling rooms control hierarchy, scale, negative space, light, and material coherence. These principles reinforce one another, and none depends on a famous brand name. That is why the most effective improvements are often decisions rather than purchases. Clarify the focal point, correct the proportions, remove what weakens the composition, layer the light, make the materials speak the same language. Now return to the two rooms from the beginning. Room A is not ugly, cheap, or badly furnished. It simply asks the objects themselves to create the feeling. Room B creates the feeling through the relationships between them. And here is Room B, fully resolved. The eye knows where to go. The seating is anchored. Empty space has purpose. Light reveals rather than floods, and every material feels like part of the same thought. So before replacing the furniture, ask better questions. Where does your eye land? What feels disconnected? Where is the room too busy? Which tones disagree? The room that feels most expensive is often not the one that cost the most. It is the one where the clearest decisions were made.